So you saw Laura do a couple of hand signals, and some of them you actually have to remember at any cost, and some of them you can happily forget. And which ones are which? Now, for instance, okay, and let's go up, or there is a problem. These are signals which are important in the proper execution of a dive or in the handling of an emergency. And these you have to know. So these are important to properly run the dive or how to react when something goes wrong. Now, these signals for, there's a nudibranch, or there's a shark, or, there's a stingray. These, I think it's safe to say, they're optional, and I would even argue that they're harmful. Why are they harmful? They lead to an inflation of signal space. If you come up with an extra 30 signals, which signify marine animals, then that might confuse your dive buddy or your student, and they might confuse them with these absolutely necessary signals, and they might forget some of these ones which they have to know in order to remember stuff like, there's a nudibranch. And if there's an emergency, people will have to think through 50 of these signals before they actually understand, okay, that's what he means. There's a problem with his ear. It's not over there, there's a nudibranch. So they can, I would argue, actually do damage by essentially causing a overload of signals on top of the ones which you need. So don't do this. Now, there is a signal, I promised you that, for garden eel. Garden eels are animals, fishes, which are sessile. These are, interestingly, fish which never leave their burrows. And let's look at a bunch of garden eels, and let's look at the signal which some people use for these fish, which is another one of these which you can forget, but you might want to check it out nevertheless.